Welcome back to the Chaos, everyone. ChaosEclipse here. We are back on World of Warcraft, the Burning Crusade Anniversary Edition. And I'm going the wrong way. Um, so hopefully, you guys have not been following my advice on professions. Don't get me wrong; it's definitely made me a lot of gold. You can see I'm at 46 right now, which isn't a lot, but as you guys know, I have my epic mount here, my epic flying mount to be specific. I also have the epic mount. We have our flight form. We have a decent chunk of gold still. I'm not talking about the 46. I'm talking about what I'm going to show you guys in the guild bank over here. Um, and at this point, we technically don't need any more gold. Technically. I'd say technically because there's a technical thing to it. So in here, not that one. In here, we have 1200 gold, just kind of sitting there. I have it in the guild bank for a reason. We'll go over that too. As you guys can see, this is all of my jewel crafting stuff. I do have these down here to make gold as well. Those aren't really jewel crafting though, not jewel crafting related. I have these two bags. I'll get to that in a second. I have these, which I don't know if I actually told you guys about these. So these, they are technically pre-BIS. Now, if you don't know what BIS is, it's BIS. It is best in slot. What I mean by that is for anyone who isn't familiar with the game, you have your slots here, your slot for your gloves, slot for your belt, your pants, your boots, all this stuff. Now, these are technically, even though they're level 66, they are pre BIS, or not pre BIS, pre raid BIS. So what that means is before raiding, so before you have your Karazhan, your um, what is it? Your layer of Groll? Is it layer of Groll or is it just Groll? I don't know. There's only a few raids right now. So you have your Karazhan Zulaman. I think that's an old one. That is this level 60 stuff, isn't it? Oh, it says 70. Zulaman. What is ZA? I don't remember that. It also has a P4, so I wonder if that's phase 4. Oh, this is what I was looking at. So you have Gruul's lair, you have Magtheridon's lair. You have your Karazhan. As you can see, both of these are 10-man raids. These ones down here are 25-man raids. So you have. We're not going to go into world bosses. I don't think there are there any level 70 world bosses. Who is this? Doomwalker, Lord Kazak. They're not. Are they world bosses? I'm so confused. All right, we're not going to get into this because I'm not sure on the world bosses. I don't remember. This one sounds familiar. I mean, so does this one too, but I don't know. Anyway, as far as the 25-man raids, you have Magtheridon's lair. I didn't mean to click on that. Gruul's lair. Um, these aren't out yet. Yeah, so I think these are phases for the other ones. So I guess phase two, phase three, and phase five. Yeah, so that one's not out yet either. It's phase four. So yeah, these are the only three that I know: Karazhan, Magtheridon's lair, Gruul's lair. So Karazhan is actually kind of in an old school area right here. Is that it? Yeah. So you come over here. It is in between Duskwood and the Swamp of Sorrows here. You'll come all the way down to the bottom. There's a castle down here called Karazhan. That is where you do the Karazhan quest. There is a prerequisite for you to get in there, but that is one of the raids. The other two are both in Outlands over here, one in Hellfire Citadel, or one in Hellfire Peninsula. One is next to the Hellfire Citadel. So Hellfire Citadel is the one that's up here. On the backside is where you have Magtheridon's lair, and then you have the other one. I think it's here in Blade Edge Mountains. Am I wrong about this? Is that it? Yeah, there's Gruul's lair. So that's the other raid. So there's only three raids. One 10-man, which is Karazhan, and then the two 25-mans. I've only done Karazhan. I haven't done Gruul's lair, and I haven't done Magtheridon's lair. So out of that, the only thing I got was the gloves, not those. The gloves. Well, technically, I got this ring too, but that was more of a It was part of a quest that I was doing, and then I can still upgrade this to a purple Violent Signet, which has the same stats except higher. What I mean by that is it'll still give me stamina, it'll still give me hit rating, it'll still give me attack power. The stats, like the numbers, are just higher on those stats. But that's another part of the quest. That's what I was. Well, that's what you guys seen when I clicked on it over here. For this Keenan's log, I think. I think that's part of it. I could be wrong. Anyway, so all of these items here that I have in here, these are all PVE items. Uh, yeah, these are all PVE items. The ones that I have on me are all PvP. I did get the Gladiators Dragonhide gloves. The other items that I got for PvP specifically, I mean, they're all PvP items. It's the pants, Gladiators Dragonhide. I think that's it as far as Gladiator gear. Technically, those are as high as they can go because they don't have bracers that are Gladiator gear. I don't think. Yeah, and then obviously those two are not. Okay. Um, yeah. So you guys are probably wondering why I'm showing you the gear and everything. So I was looking at pre-bis items, pre-raid bis. Um, Speaking of pre-raid bis, I never finished telling you guys what I was telling you guys about this. So I have these items here. They were in the auction house for, as you can see there, the 23 gold. They were in there for, I think, somewhere around 20 gold. I bought 10 of these. So I spent about 2,000 gold on these, and I have been slowly making a profit. What I did is I bought them all out, and I resold them. Some I was able to sell for over 100 gold, some down to like 50. I think the lowest one I sold was like 30, but I still made a profit off it. And I have two left. The price is right about where I bought them at. So I'm a little hesitant on putting those back in the auction house right now. I'm just going to kind of hold on to them. But I also do have a few alts that I've been working on, mainly for secondary professions and everything. Actually, I'm wearing one, so we can just link it. I was going to type it in. You guys can't see me reaching for it. Yeah, so I don't think they were 20 even. I think that I was selling. I think I bought them all out for 24, and I bought 10 of them. So I spent 2,400 gold on. Or no, that's not right. I'm bad at math. 240 gold. And I sold them for over 100. And I could technically do that again, but the sales have not been so great, so I'm probably not going to. Plus the gold in the bank right now, that is for something else that, like I said, we will go over in a minute. To prove that I ran Karazhan, you guys can see there the grips of deafness that I have. That comes out of the Karazhan trash. We did not complete it. We did everything except Nether Spike, the Prince, and whatever the dragon is, Nether something. But we did everything else. I did like they had like a soft res. I guess there's like an app or an add-on or whatever that you can use that lets you soft. I said soft res, soft reserve. I couldn't think of the word. Soft reserve. So basically, you go in there, you put in what you want, like the items that you want reserved for your class or your spec, whatever. Like the items that you're going in there for. I tried to get some. What was it? The cloak, I think it was. And the staff. So if you look here, the staff in Karazhan is best in slot. It's not pre-bis, it is bis. Oh, Nightbane. That's the dragon. So we didn't do Nightbane, we didn't do the Prince, and we didn't do Nether Spike. I thought it was Nether Spike. But mine drops from this guy here. This is where the staff drops. That is the staff that I was going for that I did not get. And then the other one dropped off of the Huntsman, whatever it was in here that I was going for. Was it? It wasn't bracers. Was it the gloves? Yeah, I think it was the gloves. Which is why I settled for the gloves. It did drop off the trash, which I don't know how to look at trash. I don't know if you can, but it was these. versus, no, not those. It was these versus the ones that I was going for, which is these. So you can see there, it is still better. These are BIS for me. These are just sort of an upgrade. Technically, if you're looking at the item level there, which by the way, I'm using Taco Tip for the to see the item level. So that item level is 115. The PvP item that I have is 123. So technically, these are better, but these had more agility. They have the expertise on them, which means that you will not be dodged as much. So that's kind of why I went with this. I think that's what expertise is. Maybe I'm thinking about, here it is. Yeah, reduced chance to be dodged or parried. Yeah, so you won't, like, your attacks won't be dodged as much. So technically, it was still an upgrade or whatever. I did resocket a lot of my stuff that I'm not happy about, but it was the only way that they would let me into the raid. And like I said, I don't have like an actual guild that I'm running with, so I did have to kind of sacrifice. So these here, I had resilience on. I had to switch the gem sockets to hit rating, and there was another one that I did for hit rating. Is it one of these down here? This one, the pants. Which that's okay because it's a PvP or a PvE item. I mean, it should have hit rating on it anyway. So I didn't mind that. I also did put the 13 crit strike on these from the scryers. And then I also put the 17 strength and 16 intellect on this from the lower city. I think we went over that stuff in the past. So if you're confused about that, just ask away down in the comment section or let me know that you don't understand and I'll explain it to you. Also, this is technically BIS or pre-BIS as well, pre-raid BIS. I don't know if it's BIS or pre-raid BIS. I think it's pre-raid BIS. I think the BIS is better than this. But the reason for that is for the power shifting for feral druids. So every time I go into cat form while I'm wearing this, I get an extra 20% energy, plus the stuff that I have in here. Um, Here, I already get 40. So every time I go into cat form, that is automatic 60. So I can shred, I can mangle, I can do all that stuff right out of the gate. Most of the time, you can do it 2 times back to back really fast. And then power shift out, power shift back in, unless you're about to get that third tick, which I did add another thing here. You can see that when I go cat form, why is it not working? It was literally working just yesterday. Um, it's not that. It's not the weak auras. Did I stop it from working? No, it's right there. So I have this, and it's supposed to show. I don't know why it's not showing right now. Did I break it? Hello? Uh, it's not working. Hmm. Yeah, it's not working. I don't know. So that add-on that you guys just seen, Bar Energy, I'll have to mess with it later. I don't know what I did wrong with it. This is basically it shows you, like I set it up here. It basically shows you every time you're going to get a tick for your energy, because for those of you that don't know, when you have a character, whether it is a rogue or a feral DPS, when you go into your cat form, you can see how you start at 60 and then it slowly ticks up. Why did I start at 60? Oh, it just ticked right away. I just got lucky and did it right when it happened. So you can see it ticks up slowly and you get 20 per tick. So when you are power shifting, It's really handy because it lets you know when you're going to get your next tick. So if you're sitting at 0, you'll probably want to power shift. But if you're sitting at like 20 already and the tick's about to happen, that'll automatically give you another 40, letting you do another mango here, which I think my shred is down to 55 in my dual spec here. Because on the dual spec, I did make it um, to where I have this. Yeah, so cost of my shred ability by 18. So it reduces the cost of shred by 18. So it's somewhere like 52, no, 42. I don't know. I'm bad at math. Anyway, so this is my PvP spec. This is my PvE spec. If you have questions, let me know. Basically, the only difference is the shred here. And I pulled 2 out of restoration. So it's probably 2 out of this, I would think. No, I pulled it all out of here. Oh, and I put 3 in here. Okay, yeah, so it's way different. Well, at least for that. What did I leave out over here? It's probably down at the bottom. Um, so confused. So I took 5 out of here, put 3 in there, and then the other 2 went to the shred. Okay, yeah. So that's what it was. Not that big of a difference. But that's my PvP spec. That's my PvE spec. So right now we're sitting on the PvP spec. That is because I'm just kind of running around in the open world, whatever, blah blah blah. Anyway, so the whole point about this is because I wanted to tell you guys, like I said, I hope you're not following me with stuff that I have been doing with my secondaries, because we are going to go back to leatherworking now. So right now we are maxed out with everything. I'm in the wrong spot again. We're maxed out with everything. We have our jewel crafting at 375. Our mining is at 375. Cooking's at 375. First aid, fishing, riding skill. That's the max it can go. Almost all of this stuff. I got it up to at least 3 something on each one. You don't technically have to do this with the feral druid, but if you get stuck outside of your cat form, bear form, or any other form that you're using, you need these. So that's the only reason I did it. Plus, it just felt wrong not to do it. So the whole reason that I have leveled up all of my secondaries, I think you guys know about all this stuff. Most of it is just to either sell the stuff, like the cooking stuff, or it is to benefit me. So, like right now, these burgers that I'm cooking here, they only sell for 45 silver a piece, but they do give the highest amount of agility for my character. And it only takes me, what is it, 10 seconds of eating it, gives me the 20 agility, and it also gives me 30 spirit. There is also fishing you can do for this one, which is this one right here, right below it. It is same exact stats there, 20 agility, 30 spirit. Or no, sorry, 20 agility, 20 spirit on both of them for 30 minutes. I'm just looking at the numbers, which is why I didn't realize it. But it does also restore your health. It's like an actual health item or whatever. Um, but it gives you the agility, which is the main reason I'm doing it here. But then you have stuff like this, which we talked about before. These spicy crawdads, one of them sells for 1 gold, 86 silver. This is the item that will give you the highest amount of stamina. So a lot of tanks will buy this. Um, Plus, it restores the health and stuff like that. So a lot of people, end up buying this anyway, um, for the extra stamina, and then also for the health, for the spirit, whatever the case may be. So they do sell really good, except they're really hard to get, and the fishing is annoying. But that is also why I leveled my fishing, because a lot of these things do require fishing. That one being the top one there for the Furious Crawdads. You have items like that, which this one is just for spell damage. So that'd be for like your mage or your warlock. There is also one somewhere in here for, I think it's this one for healers. Yep, there you go. Look at that. Well fed increases your healing done by 44 and your spirit by 20 for 30 minutes. So this one is also a decent seller, except it does not sell for as much. I don't know if they have anything that's better than this, but I would think that they're all buying it. Although Not all of them, because you have a lot of good healers out there that don't need that extra healing. Like they're able to manage their healing without buying this, so that's probably why it's not selling for as much. But the tank obviously does get blamed a lot, like, oh, you don't have enough stamina, whatever. They're always buying healing pots. They're buying those. They're buying the armor scrolls. They're buying the stamina scrolls. They're buying all kinds of shit to make them better. Where if you just go bare form, bam, look at that, almost 10,000. That's actually not that much. But I am also spec for a feral druid. What I mean by that is all of my gear, if you look at it, not even just because it is PvP gear, but if you look at it, the majority of this stuff has a lot of agility on it. Yes, it has stamina as well, but a lot of it has agility, and it has items that don't give you dodge, items that don't give you parry, things like that. Where if you look at tank gear, they almost always have dodge, almost always have parry, things like that. So those items will help them more than just having the agility spec or the required hit rating. Like I said, I only did the hit rating for the PVE stuff. Which if I have PvP items here with the hit on it, I will probably take those off, like these shoulders here. I will put those back to resilience. Right now, they're probably going to stay at hit because I was able to get into someone's Karazhan with that, so I'll probably stick around with it for a while. I could technically change some of the other ones, but my gear is low anyway. I'm only at a 1438 right now. And this is all of my good gear. Obviously, this gear here is for PvE, but even if I switch all of this out, I believe this is actually lower than what I'm wearing right now. I believe this takes me down to like almost a 1300. It's like a 1315. In fact, we can check right now. So if I switch these out one by one, make sure they actually switch, because a lot of times they don't. That helmet is the biggest. It's the one that does not help with my item level, which a lot of people, they do understand that for feral druids, mainly because, did that switch out the right one? I don't think it did. It did. Okay. Yeah, so we're at a 1315 with the PvE gear. So not great, but this also, like I said, this is also down to item level 45. A lot of people understand this because power shifting is such a big thing, and if you're doing it right, that does give you a lot more DPS than using something like a regular PvE helm. So if we look at any PvE helm that is leather, um, trying to find one, and this is even from Karazhan here. So if I can find one, I'm sure there's one in here somewhere. Might not be, but there's some leather wrists, leather hands. I don't see any help. Watch, the one that I am gonna find, it's not even gonna be for a druid. It's gonna be something weird. There we go, leather helm. Oh, look, it is. Yeah, so you do get good hit rating and stuff like that. You do get, increased attack power. This is all great. However, literally compare this. Actually, this might be this might be BIS, because that is actually really good, like really good. It's tied with my, so it's not BIS because it's tied with the item level wise. It's tied with the PVE thing that I have, and that's not even the best PVE item. But anyway, the 20 extra energy you get from this while power shifting and everything, technically you're still getting more DPS because you can hit more often. Yes, this will make you hit harder, but this will, in the long run, over time, especially with bosses, you will still do more DPS doing this if you're power shifting right, which I'm probably not, so I should probably get something like this, but didn't happen, hasn't happened. Don't know if it ever will. But I just wanted to explain that. So technically, this is pre-raid BIS. I don't think it's BIS, but I think it's pre-raid BIS. Actually, I know it's pre-raid BIS, but I don't think it's BIS. Make sure all of these switch back, because a lot of times I'll just click through these really fast and they don't actually switch. And then later I'm like running around and I'm like, why am I doing so little damage? Or why did I die so quick in that PvP fight? It's because I'm not wearing all my PvP gear and stuff. But anyway, so the whole point about this is to let you guys know where we're at. Hopefully this is actually recording properly, because I did end up getting 2 new monitors. For those of you who don't know, the last monitor that I had, I was still using an older one that was kind of going out on me. And then I had a 4K monitor, which was amazing, except it down at the bottom, it started getting like these little vertical lines going across the screen. And then one day when the power went out, the whole monitor turned off. When it came back on, it was black for a minute. And then I had a whole bunch of vertical lines going up and down, like did I say vertical down here? I meant horizontal. Anyway, up and down like this, and it was just weird colors and stuff. Like there was no picture, no nothing, and I was like, no. So I messed with the wire a bit, and it seemed to fix it. So I don't know if it was the wire. I don't know what it was, but the original lines that were appearing down at the bottom, after looking it up, it said it could have been the wire, but it also said that it could have been this monitor not matching with my second monitor because this monitor originally, the one where I'm moving the mouse, is my primary monitor where the game is. This was a 4K monitor. The other was a 1080p. So instead, I was going to get 2 4K monitors. Then I realized how expensive those were, and I ended up getting two. I think I have like 2K monitors, which isn't bad. Not that big of a difference. I know a lot of people they're like, "Oh, that would drive me crazy going from 4K to 2K." Blah blah blah. I don't really notice it. My eyes are bad anyway, so suck it. Um, but anyway, so it's working a lot better, but I have not done a video in quite some time, and you'll see what I mean by all the progress that I've made, especially with the stuff that I was just listing, like all of the skills and everything being maxed out, all of these being like the weapons even almost maxed out, the gear that I have, and a few other things that we still have not went over yet. But the whole reason for this video is the secondaries here. So if you guys have been following along, originally I said that we were going to stick with our jewel crafting and our mining, mainly due to the leatherworking not being good in TBC. So I was wrong about that. Leatherworking is actually really good. In fact, one of the pre-bis items comes from actually a couple of them. I think one is actually the headpiece. Or no, the headpiece, like I said, it's that one. It's something else. I know the chest piece is one, and then something else that's there. I don't remember what it is. But anyway, so there is a lot of stuff, and then there is also a lot of stuff that I can sell to make even more gold than the mining. You guys are like, that's crazy. Mining does make a lot of gold. It does. You're right. Mining makes a ton of gold. That's how I was able to afford everything that I was able to afford now. Some of it did come from jewel crafting, but it does seem like the majority came from mining. I have a backup for that. We'll go over that in a minute. But what we're going to do right now is we're actually going to get rid of the mining, even though it's at 375. You guys are like, no, you're crazy. Yeah, I am. It's so crazy. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and click on our mining here. We're going to unlearn it. Oh, I'm so glad that I didn't screw that up and actually click on jewel crafting. And then what we're going to do is we're going to learn the leatherworking. So here we are starting from scratch, leatherworking. Train me. Here we go. Boom. Boom. And I can't learn anything else. What? You can only learn one? No, I don't know what that would do. I hope it wouldn't cancel out my dual crafting somehow, so we're not even gonna try it. Can I learn anything from you? No. Um, skinning trainer, no.
My goods
Leatherworking stuff. Do I need any of this stuff? Probably a lot of salt. I think I need a lot of salt. So we're gonna buy, I don't know, like 40 salt here. You guys are like, why do you need salt? I believe salt, if I remember correctly, is used for making a lot of the hides into, well, all of the, I don't know exactly what they're called, so bear with me on this. I think it's the impure hides. They're not called impure hides. I don't know what they're called. They're like uncured, and then you turn them into cured hides or something like that. But you use the salt to do that. I don't know if I have both of these. I kind of want to buy these. Actually, they both sell for more in the auction house, so even if I have, we'll end up selling them. It's fine. So I have been holding on to a lot of leatherworking patterns that I've been coming across because I knew that this was going to happen to me. You've probably seen them when I flashed really quickly in the what's it called, in the normal bank instead of the guild bank. When I was trying to show you guys the gold, there was a lot of recipes in there. You guys are probably like, oh wait, what were those were all my leatherworking ones that I've been holding on to. But now that we have this leatherworking, put it where the mining was. We get rid of that one because we don't need to smelt anymore. I think leatherworking only comes with one. We don't really need anything for it. Later on, I think we need like a salt shaker or something like that, which I think we get from an engineer. Yeah, so these are all the leatherworking things that I have here. So the two that we just bought, we have the barbaric bracers and the green welt bracers. Let's see. Barbaric bracers. So we do have the barbaric bracers, but we don't have the green whelp. So we can keep the green whelp, and then we'll be able to sell the other ones. Let me just make sure we don't have anything else here. No, perfect. Although we could also make this. What am I missing here? I'm missing this one. So let's grab two of those, three of these, three of these, three of these, and three of these. Now, you should be doing this daily, but it is also going to cost you gold to do this. So if you can't do it, don't. Um, but for the most part, if you can do it, try to keep up with making 1 billion glass per day. It will give you a lot of gold in the long run, which is part of the reason why I also kept dual crafting. But dual crafting does get better when Wrath of the Lich King hits. And I think every now and then we'll get some extra stuff, even playing through TBC. So we need one of these, which those are cheap. That's great. These ones are a little more expensive here. Not one with 3 already in it, so we'll just buy 3 single ones. And technically, if you really wanted to, you could just buy like 6 or 9. That way you have extra sets. Like these here, I could buy 3 more right now. These ones, obviously, they're the most expensive, so buying 3 of those is going to hurt. But if you want, you can just stay ahead of it in the auction house. Like if you see them at a cheap price or whatever. So like if those red ones were down to like a gold something, I probably would have bought 3 of them. Three gold, 53 silver. That's kind of where they've been sitting for a while now. Every once in a while, the auction house will get overloaded and you will see more of them in there. So it is possible to get them cheaper, but obviously not right now. But we're gonna open that mail. We're gonna craft our brilliant glass here. There we go. And then for those of you that don't know, what this does is when you open it, bam, you get one of these. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be this one that you're going to get, because as you can see, I've also gotten a noble topaz before. I can sell both these right now. I'm just kind of sitting on them. This one I'm holding on to because I will probably get more PvE gear that will need more hit rating. I had some yellow ones, and that is how I slotted my own gear, so I didn't really have to spend too much gold on making my own gear. But like I said, it still did hurt because I did have to um, take off the resilience ones, which you don't get them back. Basically, what happens is it was over here, the shoulder piece. Yeah. So basically, what happens is you take a slot like a gem or whatever, you put it in there, and it goes over top that one. Now, technically, this one here I should not have in there. Um, as you can see, the little thing that's here, these are like little red clips that are in there. These ones are yellow clips. This one's glowing because the gem I put in there is a yellow gem and the socket's yellow. This one here is a red socket, but I still put a yellow one in there. You can do that. The only thing you can't do that with is something like this here, which is a meta slot. You can't throw any gem in there, but with the other ones you can. The what happens with that is you just don't get the bonus. So if I was to match a red slot here and a yellow slot here, then I would also get this +3 resilience. Now, because I was doing this for PvP purposes or PvE purposes, the 3 resilience didn't really matter. And then sometimes it doesn't matter anyway. So like this one here, um, granted the three gems I put in here, I was just putting gems in just to put them in. These are lower level gems. Um, Technically, if I would put a yellow one in here, we would have got the 4 crit right there, but we did not. Um, Technically, what I should have done, I mean, this is still not bad. This is still better than the 4 crit here. But technically, what I should have done is put the better agility gems in here, which I think gives 8 or 12. I think it's 8 agility, and you'll end up with the, what is that, 24 agility, which still is way better than the +4 crit that you would get from slotting it correctly. So it just depends. I mean, a lot of times you'll want to slot them correctly, but other times you'll get more benefits out of slotting them incorrectly if you know what you're slotting, or like what you should be slotting. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. We're going to throw these in there because we don't need them. See if we can make a little profit on that. That wouldn't be much, but it's still worth it. What do we got here? I'll see if I can put this somewhere here. I'll probably switch it out for that cheese, and then just sell the cheese. But yeah, so leatherworking. We are going to start low here, and then we're going to work our way up. Obviously, a lot of this stuff shouldn't be too much of an issue, even with the gold we have. But when you get to like the higher leatherworking stuff, there is a lot of really good items you can get from leatherworking. I don't know, does Atlas work with professions? This. When did they add this in? Barrel, this. So where was that head item? Yeah, we're not doing. Yeah, so it was the one that we were looking at. Ironically enough, it was the one that is BIS. But other than this one, it is still more beneficial to use the wolf shed helm. Because of what I said, because of um the energy and switching. Although it also has this one too. 37 agility, 42 stamina. I think this one's better, isn't it? Because of the attack power. Extra 30 versus the agility, which is a only 2 point difference. 105, 115. Oh, I guess this one's still better. Yeah, no, that's what I was saying because of the attack power. Okay. Oh, and there's also this one. All right. Where's the back piece? The back piece is gonna be wrong for me. Well, no, it's not gonna be wrong because the one I'm wearing is a Prebis. It doesn't even have the back piece in here. Oh, these are all head items. So this is the very top one here? Where does that come from? Killjoy. Oh, that's not out yet. What phase is that? Does it say? Sunwell Plateau is not out yet. Where does this come from? Black Temple, that's not out yet. Sunwell Plateau, also not out yet. Although this, oh no, that's an engineering. Yeah, so no, brutal gear's not out yet. That is phase two. Because right now it's just regular gladiator gear. Phase two is brutal. Phase three is vengeance, vengeful, something like that. Um, this one, Zulaman. Yep, that's not out yet. There's vengeful, which is phase three. Kill Jaden. That's not out yet. Engineering. I don't know if they can. I mean, I don't. I mean, these are bind on pickup anyway, so it wouldn't matter. So yeah. So technically, this one right here, the ninth one that's on this list, is BIS, which is the one we were looking at for phase one. The back piece. So here's Cloak of the Craft. This is the one we have on right now. That's why I'm surprised that it's only selling for 23 in the auction house. This is Olaman. That's not out yet. Serpentine Shrine Caverns. Is that? It's not out yet, is it? I don't know if that's out. I don't think so. I think that's a raid. Tempest Keep. That's not out. Karazhan. That's not the one I was going for. There's another one in Karazhan that I was looking at. Is it this one? Maybe it was that one. because I could only roll on two pieces for when I went to Karazhan. This was one of the pieces I was looking at too, but I didn't go for it. There was a rogue in there that was going for it. That's Black Temple, not out yet. This one is Sunwell Plateau, not out yet. Um, Two hand. The one that we are trying to get is this one here. This is the one that I say that is best for us right now. Let's see if there's anything else here. High Jaw Summit, that's not out yet. This is Merciless. That's not out yet. Merciless Gladiator Gear. That is season 4? Oh, maybe that's season 2. Maybe Brutal season 3. I don't know. This one's not out yet though. Merciless is not out yet. Right now, the only one that is out for PvP is this, which is just says Gladiator. It doesn't say Brutal. It doesn't say Merciless. Doesn't say Vengeful. It doesn't say any of those. This one, Zulman, not out yet. This one is Vengeful. That's not out yet. This one, Staff of the Forest Lord, Vendor. I don't know if they have that yet. That's a Badge of Justice vendor. I don't think that's out yet. Brutal's not out yet. Sunwell Plateau not out yet. Yeah, so none of those are out yet. Um, Trinkets. Yeah, none of this other stuff is really going to matter too much. I mean, this is. I don't know when they added this in for Bissless. It must have been the last update they did or something. Collections. No. Crafting. Here we go. Leatherworking. All right. So not all this stuff is going to be for feral druids, but like if we look at the chest here, Primal Strike Vest. This is BIS for druids right now for PvE. And if I get my leatherworking high enough, I need to go elemental leatherworking. You can see that I can make this. But it is a bind on pickup, which is why I can't buy it. I think there's also the feet. However, these ones are not bind on pickup. Is it these ones? These. I did. It's these. These ones here. Yeah, so not bind on pickup. Technically, I can buy these. I have ones that are close to this, which is like the second under these. It's the Fell Boar ones. Fell Boar Hide. Yeah, so this is like pre bis basically to these ones. But technically, I can buy these. But the whole reason I'm doing this switch is because of that chest piece. And then if you look at these, like items like this that are pre bis, or yeah, pre bis, then what we can do is we can Fell leather boots. What we can do is we can go to the auction house, because my whole point of showing you guys that item there, because they are not bind on pickup. Obviously, it's going to take me a lot because it does cost heavy knot hide leather, fell hide, rune thread, and primal shadow. But these are the fell leather boots. And if we take a look at the fell leather boots, fell leather boots. Look at that, 214. So if I can make it, I can sell these for a minimum, and that's the whole list right there. Like there's like I can't scroll up and down, so there's about 10 here. So I could technically buy all those for like 2,100, 2,200, something like that. Gold, and I can resell them for a higher price, but that's a little iffy. However, if I could just make them, I can sell them for about 200 a pop, which isn't bad. I think it's really good. Granted, I will have to grind for the gear and stuff like that, but I don't think it's going to be that hard, and I don't think it's going to be that hard to get to 300, because I did start working on an alt, which is one of the reasons why I have the gold in the bank there. I started working on an alt, and he has been getting a ton of leather. We also made him into a miner. His mining is at like 330 or something like that, so he can get all the way up to adamantite. The only thing he can't get currently is the uh, corium, which corium I was only selling anyway. Like I wasn't. Oh, hey, that must have just popped in there when I opened it. But the corium I haven't really been doing anything with anyway. I've just been selling it. I usually wait till I get to a full stack and I sell it, which sells for a pretty good bit. But yeah, that's why a lot of this stuff is missing here, because I have been selling it. The fell iron I have been prospecting. mainly because I'm getting the smaller gems, the ones that these ones here. You get a lot of these out of the fel iron, and then you also when you're mining the fel iron, you also have a chance to get modes of fire. So I've actually been doing more fel iron than I have been doing for the adamantite. The adamantite does also give you a chance when you prospect it to give you these a higher chance because you can also get it from prospect and the fel iron. But that is where we're at with that. And if we take a look at this second tab here, this is all my leather. So I've been at it for a while. And we even got some extra salt in here. That's deep rock salt, though. We also have some plants in here and then some other items that I believe, if I remember correctly, these items are used for leatherworking. I don't know if I'm going to use these, but because I had them, I decided to go ahead and hang on to them because I think I need them. And if I don't, that's fine. I'll just end up selling them. Or it's not a big deal. Um, but yeah, I figure I have the room, so why not do it? And then the next thing here would end up costing us 500. We're not doing that right now. But yeah, so I can actually click on this. If you look here, we can do some light leather kits here. Look at that. I can make 55 of these. I think making 55 will not give me 55 points because I think it'll turn yellow probably in about 20 or 30. So we can start doing that now. But this is how easy it's not easy, but this is how quick it's going to go. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be stuff that I don't have. But this is also going to help to be able to level this really quickly, which is why I did it this way. I made the leather work or the skinner first, so he's been out there skinning and everything. I will not lie to you. The other guy is already almost level 70. I did boost him. So he got to 58. They gave him communal gear, which I think I still have like one or two pieces. I think it's like the jewelry pieces that are still communal gear. He's like level 63, 64, somewhere around there. I'll show you him in a second. But this is why I did it. I did it to turn him into a skinner and a miner. And then now we have this guy who's going to be our main. He is also going to be our jewel crafter and our um, leather worker now. So now we can make our own gear and we can socket our own gear and we can do that for all of our characters. The only difference is with the leatherworking, as you guys seen with that chest piece, it is a primal or it is a bind on pickup piece. So I can make it for this main character. However, I will not be able to make it for my alt, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's still not bad because we'll still be ahead of the game technically. So it'll work out for us. And we don't need that chest piece. That's not the only reason I'm doing it. But I was looking at leatherworking. Skinning makes a lot of gold itself, just for the skinning, like these here. You can see that each one of these, the fell hide sells for 1 gold, 44 silver. They were much higher than that. I'm sure the price will go back up, but you can see a lot of this stuff. It's easy to get. Like even though a lot of these don't sell for a lot, like they're in the 20s, the 50s, I think is probably the highest there. Um, so a lot of them don't sell for a lot, but they're very easy to get. And most of the time, when you are leveling, when you're doing quests and everything, a lot of times you're going to be needing to go and fighting beast anyway. After you kill the beast, it doesn't take that much longer to stand around and just skin it. So you're making a profit off of just doing what you're supposed to be doing anyway, just for like an added 2 seconds to skin a creature. So I figure skinning is going to be an easy one for us as well, which is why I put him with the mining, because if I'm going to be running around and I'm going to need to mine nodes that are going to be like that. So we got up to 30 before it turned yellow. We're going to leave this still going though with even the yellow though. We'll see how high it gets us. So basically, when you're going around, you're mining with the miner. Now, if there's a creature there, a saber, a bear, any type of thing that you can skin, we can also skin it. So we'll be getting two gathering things very easily, very quickly, and it'll kind of just run together. So, and then plus both of those are going to be used to be able to put into the bank here, so that we can pull it out with this main character and do exactly what we're doing now, just level these very easily. So and then the whole reason I'm saving up to 1,200 gold is because that miner, that skinner, is going to need to get around very quickly. So we are also going to need to buy him an epic mount if we don't get to phase 2 before that happens. Because phase 2, we can just go and do the quest for the epic flying skill. So look at that. Everything turned yellow just now. which means it's going to slow way down, but we only have 13 left. We're going to let it finish out. I'm still going to hold on to these just for now because we might still need some of this to craft, which we'll look at that in a second. Once we don't need this stuff, we'll start selling these. They're only going to sell for 5 silver a stack, but I guarantee you, because of people like me that go back and they switch their stuff, or if they're just starting a new character and they pick up leatherworking, they're going to need this. Obviously, they're going to be lower levels most of the time, like level 10s, 20s, somewhere around there. They're not going to have much gold anyway, which is why these sell for so little. Um, and I haven't even gotten a lot of the good stuff. I think there's like heavy knot hide leather that you can eventually make. You can't skin it, I don't think, off of anyone. But you can take this knot hide leather, you put like salt with it. Or no, I don't think you put salt. You do something with it. I think you just combine them. And then you can make what's it called? You can make heavy knot hide, which actually sells for a lot. So let's see, off of what did we have? Like 60? I don't know how many we made. 10, 20, 30, 40, 55. Is that right? 55 of them, and we got to level 45 just off of making uh light armor kits. Each one of these took 1 leather, and these sell for 26 copper. Well, 15 because we're just probably going to give them to a vendor. Um, these would have sold for more, but it is okay. Oh, and look at that. So technically, only 1 leather sells for 5 silver. So we hold shift, a stack will sell for still a gold. That's still not bad. But yeah, so now I can go and I can sell these to a vendor real quick. So we'll just mount up. And the leather that or the not the leather, the vendor that we're going to use is going to be the one that's over by the guy where we're just going to level up our leather working anyway. But like I said, that is why I did it this way. So now we already have a skinner, and we have a lot of skins already built up in the guild bank, and then we also have a new miner. The only issue with that is we're going to need to be getting around a lot faster, and we can't do that yet. But that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that. I haven't been doing much with mining anyway, especially since we hit max level,
What
so
brings you
not that big
here?
of a deal. That's not who I need to talk
Goddess
to. It's
watch
you.
over you.
Feel free to
Train me.
browse.
And we can click on this, train all of this stuff up,
Asha
close that,
Fela,
open
Idun be
this,
with you.
sell all of these. Technically, what I could do, what is that? Increase armor. Let me see. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4 times 3, so I need 12 of these back. You'll see why in a
Light your
second
path.
here. Go.
Greetings.
Sell those 3.
May the stars guide
Okay.
you.
And then we can click back on our leatherworking. So now the best thing that we can do is this here, more light leather. See, and that's why I didn't sell it all. And then we also need coarse thread. The coarse thread we can get from that guy. This here, the cured light hide, this is what I was talking about. This is where you need salt. So any light hide that I have, which I don't know how much that we have, probably not much. But we'll use salt for that. And then like it'll do the same thing with medium hide and heavy hide and all of that. But either way, we can probably just make a whole bunch of these. So we'll come in
How may I
here.
help?
We need the coarse thread here. Problem is we need 4 just to make 1, and we need 8 of these, so that's still going to be a lot, but it's okay. Come on. I don't even know how many I'm buying here. I'm just buying, guys. Just buying. We'll buy 100 of them. I'm probably not even going to have enough to do this. Not gold wise. I just mean like I don't think I'm gonna have enough leather to do this. But I do think coarse thread is going to be used for something else right away too, so it's fine. Go ahead and buy all those. Whatever we don't have, we'll just sell
Goddess,
back. Obviously, we are losing money by not calculating it right. There's going to be people out there, oh, well, you could have just looked up the things. There's guides out there that will tell you, oh, buy exactly this amount. Do craft this many of these, craft this many of these, and it'll tell you exactly how to do it. I'm just winging it, guys. I don't really care. Yes, I'm losing money by doing it this way, but who gives a shit? Actually, we could probably start doing these instead of the vests. Unless I want to give these to my alt characters, which actually those stats are not bad for a level 7. But we'll see. I'm not really worried about it right now. Main thing is leveling it. So if we come back over here, click on
What
this
brings you
again,
here
not this.
cannot
Click
be
on this
told.
again. Grab a whole bunch of these. Look at that. We can make 20 of these right now. We can make 25 of these. How's that work? Oh, because of the 3 instead of 4. So it's not about the course thread. It's more about these. Can we do anything else more of? No. I'm looking for only the orangish colored ones here. That's fine. We'll make these. That should, well, and no, because these are going to turn yellow pretty quick. I was going to say that might get us all the way up there, but I don't think so. Well, actually, 50 and 25. So even if it did, we'll be 5 off still. But I'll show you the alts right after we do this set here. Because I do have more than one alt. I only power leveled one alt, like I boosted him. I think it costed me 60 gold. I didn't do the one with the mount or anything like that. It still came with a regular mount, like a blue mount, but it didn't come with an epic one. He has an epic one now because I've been playing him so long, and he's already went through the portal and everything. So he does have an epic mount. I already did get that, but he does not have the flying skill yet. He doesn't have a flying epic mount. Um, but yeah, he's like I said, he's either level 63 or 64. I've been playing it for a while, and I haven't really done a video mainly because of the whole issue with the monitor. It started freaking out on me, and I got scared, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go buy new monitors. So, and then today, hopefully, like I said, this is recording. I had to set up everything for it to record properly. Since I have new monitors, it messed with my voice meter that I use to do the audio virtual wiring, and it was a pain in the butt to do all that. So all right, so yeah, I was gonna say we'll probably get 65. I don't know if we'll get 60, 66. Oh, look at that. We already got it. Can I get up to 68? There's 67. Come on, 68. Oh, okay. No big deal. Usually it goes by fives anyway, so if there is anything else that I can learn, it probably wouldn't be till 70 or 75. But now we can also level this because I think at 65, I think 10 points below the 75, or maybe even 60, but I think it's 65. That's when you can do the apprentice leatherworking. So now I can look at these. I can see, do I want to sell these in the auction house? Which actually in the auction house, they're going for 10 gold. I don't know if they're selling for 10 gold, but they're in there for 10 gold. I can probably put them in there for like maybe even 2 gold or something, and that actually might sell. And if I can sell all of those at 2 gold a
By
piece, that actually
this
wouldn't be
means,
bad. Yeah, so we can learn our journeyman thing here. And you
goodbye.
probably don't have
Yeah.
anything yet because you're
Good luck,
apprentice.
friend.
But I use all of the nice, I did. I used all of the coarse thread that I had. Okay, and we didn't even use all of the light leather. That works out. Cool. Okay, so let's go to the auction house. We'll throw all these in there. I'm not going to put them in there for 10 gold. I don't think they're going to sell at 10 gold. We'll see how many are in there for 10 gold. We'll look at that. If there's a lot in there for 10 gold, then I will, because that means that they're selling and people have been undercutting, which we'll be able to see all that. If it's only one guy selling it for 10 gold and there's no other ones in there, then I'm not going to sell it for 10 gold. We'll see what happens though. So we'll go here, click on this. It's only one guy. There's another guy. I mean, they might actually be selling for 10 gold a piece. I could still probably undercut them by half. Like I could put these in there for 5 gold and still make a profit. I mean, either way, like no matter what I put them in there for, but I want to make sure they sell. And I don't know if these guys are selling. You know what I mean? Because they could just do what I did and they just made a whole bunch just level their leatherworking. They're like, oh, someone else selling it for 15. I'm gonna sell it for 10. And then that's what I'm gonna do. Someone else selling it for 10. I'm gonna sell it for 5. So we'll put them in there for 5. We'll do 5. We'll leave the 99 there. That'll kind of help with the deposit. So we'll make sure we still get back our 5. And it's going to be 25 of them. So look at that. We'll make 149 gold if these sell. If these sell, I need to remember to remake these. It's probably mainly because of that green thing there that says increase range attack speed by 10%. Because that is kind of huge. I don't know. I mean, I don't play a hunter either though, so I don't know how big that is. I don't know if they get other stuff. Yeah, we'll get 100 and what was it, 145 or 125, something like that. That's kind of ridiculous. All right, they all in there. 5 gold, cool. We'll see if those start selling. Maybe, maybe not. Who cares? If not, I don't really. It's not that big of a deal. If they do, it's great. If not, not really worried about it at all. Like I said, most of the stuff. This is what I did with the jewel crafting when I was leveling it. Most of the stuff is going to probably not sell, like the lower stuff like that, especially for that price. And if it doesn't sell, that's perfectly fine. I will just throw it into a vendor, give it to him. Like that, we sold a Wicked Noble Topaz for 72 gold. I will take that. Like I said, jewel crafting, easy way to make money.
Greetings.
We still have the other one that was in here, uncut, Noble Topaz there, that was 76.
I'm listening.
Let's see, can I learn any of these yet? Probably not. No, these are all in the 200s and 300s. Okay, no big deal. But what we're doing
Loyalty.
here is we're going to come in here. We're going to go to our leatherworking. We're going to throw these 10, these two. We'll throw back in our light leather there. I'm not using the salt yet, so we'll go ahead and throw the salt in there. I might not even need the salt. There's the light leather, heavy leather, or hide, sorry. So light hide, we only have 6 anyway. But I still think you need it for like even this stuff over here. But yeah, it turns it into like cured hide. And even these rune scraps here, I should have did those first because now they're kind of pointless. Yeah, see rune leather scraps. In fact, we can do that now just to get more. What is this? Light leather hide. I know you guys are like, well, why didn't you do that first? I wasn't thinking about it. I completely forgot about that. If you ever find scraps, most of the time you can turn into leather. But the good thing is, this light leather we can now actually turn into medium leather. Um, so if you look in here, oh, we don't have it yet, do we? Yeah, we don't even have it yet. But light leather, probably when we get to I don't know where it's going to be at. I'm not going to guess at it. But basically, you can turn light leather into medium leather. Then, with so many medium leather, you can turn that into heavy leather. So much heavy leather, I think you can turn into rugged leather. These ones, or what's this? Thick leather. So it'll go heavy, thick, and then thick to rugged. And then I don't know if you can do rugged to not hide. I don't know if it lets you. But yeah, look at that. Eventually, before we do anything with not hide, we need to do the not hide scraps here too. We have a lot of scraps. Which that's kind of where he's at right now anyway with the leatherworking. The leatherworker or the skinner, I mean, the skinner and the miner, he is not maxed out in those levels, but he is high enough to get the stuff that I need to be able to max this guy out with leatherworking. So that's why I did it. But yeah, so now we have all of that. We still do have those, but it's okay. We got a full stack out of that. That's not bad. Is that it? Yeah, I think so. And then look at that. Those are selling for 2 silver a piece. I could have probably just sold those, but it's okay. We'll end up selling these to a vendor real quick. So yeah, let me sell these to a vendor, and then we'll switch over to our Skinner and our miner, just so you guys can see where he's at and why I'm doing what I am doing. And I'll explain a few other things as to why I kept those. Actually, I can sell it right here. Why I kept those light
My
leather
goods are of the highest
armor
quality.
pieces. Okay, so
Good
let's
luck,
go ahead
friend.
and log out. Whoops, wrong one. Log out. All right. So hear me out. First of all, yes, they're all druids. You can suck it. I really don't care. So this guy here, leatherworking, jewel crafting. This guy. This is our miner and skinner. This guy, enchanter, tailorer. So he can disenchant stuff. He can enchant stuff. The only issue is I won't be able to enchant my gear on this guy, so I'll still have to find an enchanter. But with the disenchanting that he has, I should be able to get the mats a lot easier to be able to find an enchanter and just be like, hey, I already got the mats. I'll tip you like 10 gold if you can give me the enchant or whatever. So that's kind of why I'm doing that. Plus the tailoring, I can make my own bags. So that's why I'm doing that. I don't know if I'm going to max this one out. I'd like to, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen. This one I'm going to max out for sure. Because the stuff that's going to go with this one is also going to be with this one. Even in Wrath of the Lich King, I'm going to need new skinning stuff from there, new mining stuff from there, and it will also go to this guy. So this guy is just going to be like, it's like a secondary to my secondaries, if that makes sense. Not secondary to my primaries. So jewel crafting, leatherworking, skinning, mining, enchanting, tailoring, and then this one I don't know how much I'm going to do with him. I've never done these professions before, but this is going to be alchemy and herbalism. Um, we'll see what happens with that one. I don't know if he's ever even get leveled. Right now he's level 5. He's just parked in Dalinar. He's getting rested XP right now. This one I just wasted all the rested XP. This one is also getting rested XP. But we'll go ahead and log into him so I can show you guys where he is currently at. I don't plan on doing much with the first aid, the fishing, the cooking, none of that stuff. Some of it has been leveling a little bit. So you can see here 17. His cooking's at 13. I don't even know if he has fishing. I think I might have just picked up fishing. Fishing 10. Yeah, but look at this. So mining 338, skinning 356. Like I said, skinning, we're not going to be able to do too much more with it anyway because the skinning, a lot of it is just not hide from here on out. There's I think a few other things like skinning maybe a dragon or something like that. Kind of how back in the day you could skin Onyxia. Well, I mean you can still can, but I just mean that we're kind of past Onyxia. But you could skin an Onyxia and stuff like that, and that leather's like actually worth a lot. There's a few things in I think like Skolomance that you can skin in there, but those ones are bind on pickup. However, we don't need those anymore. So anything that this guy can skin now, I can put in the bank in here for the other guy so that he can use whatever he needs out of here. And then same thing with the mining. So that's why I have the mining at 338. But the highest thing that I can get right now is the adamantite, which Eternium does come with adamantite. So I'm not really worried about that. You can also get it out of the corium. The corium, you can only get it 375. I was not going to wait that long. It's just going to be too annoying and it's going to be a pain in the butt. So, plus, like I said, I've been selling the corium anyway. I haven't really been doing much with it. I'm not really worried about smelting it or anything. I've been selling it as ores. If you do the bar, which actually I can't even show you the bar now, and I can't even show you the other character either. I'd have to go to the auction house. We're not going to do all that. Um, but yeah, and then this guy here, level 63, so he's not 64. I think this is the last communal piece he has here. No, this too. I technically have the other one here. For Mangle, the only reason it's not equipped is because I don't have Mangle yet. So when I hit 70, that's when I'll get Mangle. So I still got like 6 levels. So that's not going to switch out until the very last one. And then this one here, it's been decent. I haven't really found anything better. I did get this one, which the 2 rings it gave me, this one gave me 12 agility. This one gave me, I think it was 12 stamina. And then I seen this ring, which was 25 stamina plus the socket plus the attack power. So I was like, I may as well switch it out. And then the rest of the stuff I've gotten off of, you can see they're either trash or just regular mobs around the world or quests, whatever. But yeah, I mean, the communal gear is actually not that bad. Um, I do think it's funny because before people were like, "Oh, he has community gear on," he's a piece of crap, he boosted, blah blah blah. It's actually not that bad. The communal gear, yeah, communal gear. Um, but yeah, that's where we're at. And I've been leveling this guy. As you can see, he does have quite a bit of rested XP because I have not played him for probably about a day and a half. That's when I was doing Karazen and everything with the main. So I'm probably still going to jump back on the main. I'm not going to play him right now either. I could level more of his stuff, but I'm probably going to jump back on the main, level his leatherworking, and try to get into a heroic Botanica. Botanica. Botanica, which I don't know if I want to actually do that or not because I was able to get into Karazhan with the gear that I have, and as you guys seen, the the thing that I want from here is the staff. But the whole thing, take a screenshot of that with your mind real quick. The whole reason that I'm doing the heroic Botanica is because if you go to Botanica and you look at this, where's he at? This guy? Sorry guys, I had to cough. It's not this guy. Wait, is it this? That's not it, right? This guy. Yeah, this staff here. Wait, 754, 35 agility. Okay, yeah, yeah, it is the other one then. I thought this one was higher for some reason. Yeah, so this staff here, this is your pre-BIS staff. But if I'm doing Karazhan to get the BIS staff, then there's no point in doing this one anymore. So I might take a look at the Atlas, kind of how we're doing now, and I might go through and I'll try to find, well, not the BIS, but I'll try to find the items that I need for what's it called? For for pre-raid BIS. I don't know if I can. I've never pulled stuff onto the screen here, so let me check something real quick. Does it work? Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can see it. So like I said, I've never pulled stuff over here before, but this is Wowhead. www.wowhead.com. You can go to TBC because that's what we're currently playing. You can go to best in. Oh, go away. Go to best in slot here, and right here you can see the pre-raid best in slot. So you can click on this. It'll tell you everything that you can use and where to get it. And then phase one is where you can actually look at the actual best in slot. So pre-best in slot, you can click on Feral DPS. If you're scrolling down, you can see there's your headpiece. Like I said, wolf shed helm. These are your, what are these? Shoulder pieces. Shoulder? Yeah, shoulder pieces. It tells you what they are, where you can get them. So other than me going for the weapon, for pre-bis, since like I said, I'm already going to Karazhan, maybe I'll want to come and get the shoulder pieces, which will help me get into more Karazhans. Um, so the shoulders I don't get, like even the best in slot, I don't get from Karazhan. The let's see, scroll back up. So we go best in slot, Feral DPS. Now these are best in slot, these are not pre-bis. So look at that. It's even bis here. I don't think that's right for BIS. Um, because I mean it might be, but I don't think so. I don't think that one's right for BIS. But yeah, so these ones here you get from the Mantle Malorn from Gruul's Lair. So the shoulders I won't get from Karazhan. If I'm only focusing on Karazhan right now, then any of the BIS slots um is what I should be focusing on for pre-BIS, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, see, so here are the BIS for what's it called? The back piece, and then here is the one that I currently have. So these were an alternative to the BIS, which these ones are the ones that everyone's buying, except these ones cost like 600 gold, where you could just get this for, as you guys seen, 23 gold, which is there's not that much of a difference here. Honestly, like the armor, um, you get more agility out of this because even if you socket this one here, even if you put a red socket in there, the best red socket, I think it only gives you 8 agility, if I remember correctly, maybe 12. But even with that 8 or 12, you still get 25 here. Um, you get a little bit less. Well, actually, the hit is going to be higher because if you socket this one right, you're only going to get the two hit rating there. Where this one gives you 13 hit ratings, so you'll be landing more hits, and then you'll get 20 attack power. This one, yes, it gives you 52 attack power, but if you don't have that hit percentage, you're not going to be landing those hits anyway. And then the crit isn't going to matter because the crit that you're getting here, the 23 crit, you're also getting here from the 25 agility. Hopefully that makes sense. Um, but yeah, things like this. So the breastplate of Malorn, that we need to get that from Magtheridon's lair as well. So these Malorn pieces, we can go over that in a second. Um, so something like this. This is, what is this? This is a wrist piece. So the wrist piece. None of this stuff is from Karazhan. So basically, what I'm saying is, since I'm actually running Karazhan, um, I can focus on things like this, where it's just a heroic old Hillsbrad foothills. It's not a raid; it is just a heroic dungeon. Same thing with the staff. I think it's at the very bottom for the weapons. No, it's right here. Yeah, so same thing with the staff. Yes, the one here is from Karazhan, but if I'm going for the Prebis is this one here. It's still an alternative to the Bis. But because, like I said, because I'm going for this one in Karazhan, then I want to focus on things that are not from Karazhan that I can get very cheap. So, or not very cheap, but very easily. So just by running, or look at that, even this here, one of the rings I can get by exalting my lower city. This one here I can get from jewel crafting, which I can actually make that. I probably should do that. I don't know how that one is. I think that might be based on the hit rating. I also don't like the use feature on trinkets, so I might not even worry about that one. I might get something like this, but still not hard to get. You just need 25 badges of justice, so I can work on that. Um, that's out of the Karazhan as well. So, but here is the alternative that I was talking about that was costing the 214 gold. And these are actually the BIS ones. These are not pre-BIS, so that's still pretty damn good. That was also out of Karazhan. So yeah, so I could go into heroic dungeon here. I can work on getting that since I'm actually running Karazhan right now. So I can solo. I can just queue up for a heroic one of these and go for that. So it just it just depends. Anyway, let's go look at those Malorn items. I'll show you where you can get those. So first, you need a mark of Malorn. Who are we on? We're not on our main. We're gonna leave him here. He needs rested XP. Let me get back on the other one real quick again. Sorry. Okay, we're back. Um, so let's go to Moonglade first. So just want to see if that thing is there. I did actually just get one before recording today. They're currently selling at 55, I think it was. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, you come here to Moonglade. There's a vendor over in a building, that building right over there. He has the oh, somebody killed that dude. He was standing there earlier too. So I guess I'm still on the same layer. Um, but there is a vendor here. This vendor right here. I actually stole it from in front of this guy. So yeah, we're still on the same layer. Um, it is the superior defense enchant. I don't think he knows he missed it. He was standing up here on this box facing this way. Um, but yeah, I usually come here just to check if it's there before I hearth because hearthing is going to get me where I need to go. But I can always come to Moonglade at any time. So I come to Moonglade, I check for that, and then I hearth, or I either fly to Darnassus to go and do the auction house. Like I said, it's still selling for quite a bit. So the Malorn pieces doesn't matter if you are Aldor or Scryers inside your main building, whether you're Aldor or Scryer. This is a Scryer main building here. The Aldor have one similar to it. It is just going to be that back building over there with the glow coming off it. Kind of how, oh, there's no glow off this one. I thought this one had a glow too. Anyway, for them, for the Aldor, it's the one with the glow coming off of it. But you go in there, and there's a guy. I don't know where he's at in the outdoor one, but in here, you'll find a guy. For us, it's here on the first floor. This guy right here. It says Keepers of Shatari Artifacts. Click on him. You can see here. These are the things of the Defender. This is the Malorn pieces here, or no, yeah, Malorn. So they're all Malorn pieces, but these are the things that you will get from running like Magtheridon's lair, Gruul's lair, That one you can get from the curator in Karazhan. These do not drop 100% of the time. We did kill the curator. I did not get one of these. So they do not drop 100% of the time. I thought they did, but I guess it makes sense that they don't. But anyway, the pieces you can get for these are the actual really, really good pieces that you should be aiming for. You can see that the PvP item that I currently have, which it's only blue, but look at that compared to the chest piece there. Almost everything is doubled there. Almost everything. Stamina, not, but almost everything else is doubled. Intellect, I'm not really worried about. But look at that. That is ridiculous. And then look at the when you get a two-piece set with that for the Feral Druid, you can see your melee attacks in cat form have a chance to generate 20 additional energy. You know how important that energy is? That's why that helmet piece was definitely a bigger thing for what's it called? Um, like it was a higher DPS, like it was higher on the list for BIS. It's because that 20 energy is a lot. It really is. So if you have a chance of getting 20 energy every time you attack, that just makes it even more worthwhile. And then if you look at all the set pieces there, that's actually really good. So again, your two-piece set helps you with your bear and dire bear form to chance to additionate 10 additional rage. It also increases your armor for the four-piece set there, and 1400 by your bear and dire bear form. I don't know why it says bear and dire bear because once you hit 40, it's just dire bear. You can't switch between the bear and dire bear. And someone who has just the bear form cannot equip this item anyway. So I don't know why they worded it like that. But anyway, and then that last one there increases your strength by 30 in cat form. For those of you who don't know, your strength is actually doubled. It doesn't say. I think that actually is 510 right there. So 265 plus 192 plus 73. I could have sworn, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I could have sworn, or maybe I'm just reading it wrong. Oh, you know what? We're also not in our cat form. So look at this. 510 when you are in your human form, which is the 265 plus the 192 plus the 73. You go into cat, it's still 510. Hmm. So I could have sworn, maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe someone correct me if I am. I could have sworn that your strength is two times attack power of whatever your strength, like the attack power is two times whatever your strength is. So because the strength is 510, I thought you would get 1,000 attack out of that, but I don't know. Also, it's interesting that it's not reflecting properly anyway because it's still showing only the 265 where it clearly says 510. So I'm not sure how that's working. Damage? That doesn't show. That doesn't show the strength. I don't think the strength is going to show anywhere over here. Huh. Interesting. Anyway, but yeah, so it's still a lot no matter what. But these are the pieces that you should be aiming for. You just have to figure out which one is needed. So it looks like the crown of Malorn, that's going to be your healing piece. The stag helm is going to be for your um, feral DPS. Or this is the crazy thing. At this point, this is feral DPS. This is also your tank. The only difference is going to be things that you are socketing, where you're either going to be socketing um, actually, no matter what, whether you're bear or cat, you should be socketing agility. But if you do crit or anything else, one is going to be like your feral DPS is going to be crit, where your tank is going to be stamina. That's how it should be. But no matter what, you should be doing agility because agility helps you in cat and bear form. So you can see there, um, it increases your attack power by 320. It increases your crit chance by 1376, and it increases your armor by 640, which is why you want the agility because that armor increase also applies in your bear form. So here you can see that the increase for the armor is 640. However, defense. If you look at your armor here, reduces physical damage taken. You can see that your armor is much higher than your cat, and that is because in your
The
bear
reckoning is at
form,
hand.
you can see right there, shapeshift into dire bear form increases melee attack power by 210, armor contribution from items by 400%, and your stamina by 25%. So you should always be going for armor. That is why bears make good tanks. It has nothing to do with their health. It is more on the armor side of things. So the better the armor you have, the better tank you're going to be. Of course, stamina does help too because it also does increase your stamina by 25%, which is why I said that most tanks will socket stamina. You can also socket dodge, you can socket parry, things like that. But I would say go for stamina, which will give you more health. It'll make it easier for healers to heal you. Because if you do have dodge or whatever, that's great. You'll definitely be missing, or the enemies will definitely be missing hits on you. However, bosses will not miss. They rarely miss. It is still possible for them to miss, but when they hit, they're going to hit you hard. Where if you have the stamina, yes, they're still going to hit you hard, but you're going to have more health, giving healers the better opportunity to be able to heal you with because you'll have more health to where they can be like, oh shit, he's being hit right now. I can still heal him. He's got a lot of health. Where if you don't have that much health, you're still going to be getting hit for the same amount, but you're not going to have as much health. So you're going to go from whatever your health is down to a very little bit. Where if you have a stamina, it's not going to go down to a little bit. Does that make sense? I'm explaining it like a kid because that's how I understand it. So maybe I'm wrong about that. Who knows? Look at this. My DPS in the bear form, 181 damage per second. Now here it says right here where my cursor it says 423 to 484. In cat it goes down, but the DPS is higher. Ah, that is because of that agility and stuff. Anyway, this is the stuff you should
Your
be aiming for.
goal
This is
is
your
well
end game gear
played.
here. I think I wanted to show this before and I couldn't remember where the guy was. This is him here. But as you can see, this is from you get these marks from Gruul's lair and from Magtheridon's lair. Gruul, Gruul. That one's actually from Karazhan. Do they not drop 100% of the time? So only one is Magtheridon's lair. The other ones look like they're Gruul's lair. Oh, that one's from the prince. Yeah, see, oh well, technically we didn't down the prince. That would have been nice if we would have. But I think if it drops, I think if this does drop, it drops for everyone. Don't quote me on that though. I'm not
We will
100% sure on
have
that.
justice.
That's interesting. I need to look that up so I can give you guys correct info on that. But yeah, I think that's it. We talked about a lot. This video went on a lot longer than I thought it would. I thought it was going to be like maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. We're sitting at about an hour and a half. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down in the comment section. Like I said, I hope this is recording because if not, this is going to be a pain in the butt. But if I do it a second time, maybe it'll go faster. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. Thank you for your patience while I was gone for quite a while. Things are getting better. Things are kind of looking up, and yeah, everything's good. So I have been trying to put out daily videos. I hope I don't jinx myself by saying that because every time I say that, that's when I stop putting out videos. But I've been trying to put out daily videos again for you guys. I think there was a couple days in there where I was even able to put out two. So we're catching up on it. Today is March 21st. Technically, according to the calendar, I believe today is the first day of spring. Maybe that's the 22nd. Either way, it's really close. It's already getting warmer outside. I live in Texas, so I think you guys know that. I think I've talked about it before. If not, well then, hey, there you go. Real quick, one more thing. This is where I got the shoulder piece thing, the 13 crit and the I thought it was more than just 13. Is it only
Farewell.
13 crit that I have on there? Yes, so. And then the other one for the head slot piece, I got from the lower city. I was looking for another one because I was hoping that there would be one that would be better, but the lower city one is right down here. This one was actually kind of expensive, but I was just doing it to help out in Karazhan, make sure I wasn't doing. I mean,
Dumping
I'm
your
only doing a
bags.
little bit of DPS already anyway. I think it was this, not that. Where's it at? This. 17 strength and 16 intellect. The intellect I don't really care about, but I did it for the strength. There are other places out there that do other things. So, like if you're looking for spirit
Jeez.
or stamina, things like that, definitely check out with like Honor Hold, Lower City, Scryers, Aldor, all the ones that are the Outland reputation people. So all of these here, Cenarian Expedition, Honor Hold, the Kurenai, Netherwing, they're not part of it yet. Sporgar, I don't know if they have one. Consortium, Lower City, Aldor, Scryer, and the Shatar. So definitely check all of those. Actually, we can look at the Shatar too real quick. It's literally right here somewhere. He's over here. There's two Shatar ones.
Out
This
of
is the
command
actual
post.
quartermaster. So he has, I don't think it's that one. It's this one. 22 spell damage. Yeah, so that means the other
QA.
guy up here won't have any of that. He just has the actual, yeah, he has a badge of justice stuff. Okay, but yeah, like I said, questions, comments, concerns, put it down in the comment section. And that goes for anything, whether it's this game, another game, whatever. Um, Someone did tell me about a game called Project Gorgon. I did look into it. It actually looks really good. I might actually try it out. But right now I am focused on World of Warcraft. So if I do start playing it, I will tag you, whoever mentioned that. I don't know your name right now because I don't have it pulled up in front of me. But thank you for telling me about that. I will definitely check it out. It looks actually pretty interesting. Also, I don't think there is a what's it called? I don't think there's a monthly subscription for that, which is also definitely a huge plus. It does look like the game's a bit older, probably around the same time as this game. It does look a little worse for wear visually, but the gameplay looks extremely interesting. I might check it out. I was also thinking about getting Crimson Desert online, not online. Crimson Desert, the new game, but I don't know if I actually want that yet either. Mainly because I'm just not sure about single player games at this point in time. But it does look really good, so I might check it out. We'll see what happens. But thank you all. See you in the next video. Enjoy your day. Bye bye.